Are you aware that the majority of billionaires in the modern world follow the same pattern of making a lot of money? It's all for a purpose after all. According to a quote attributed to John D. Rockefeller, the most stable thing in the world is the ability to make money in the right form. It is unshakable. Imagine for a moment that you were able to earn any amount of money you want. Even though it might appear to be a dream, I will take down this myth today. If you look at the methods that John D. Rockefeller used to amass his $1 billion, you will discover some groundbreaking money techniques that will assist you in becoming wealthy. Do you still lack faith in it? Watch the video through to the finish and then decide for yourself. Hello and welcome for Financial Matters. John D. Rockefeller, known as the first person to ever amass $1 billion in wealth, is John D. Rockefeller. He borrowed $1,200 from his father to help him get his first firm off the ground. He donated $2,000 to the launch capital of his first business. When John D. Rockefeller passed away in 1937, it was estimated that his fortune was worth $1.4 billion. The equivalent amount in today's currency would be $318 billion. Consider the fact that Elon Musk, who is considered to be one of the wealthiest persons in the world, is believed to have a net worth of only $219 billion. Upon conducting a more in-depth analysis of John Rockefeller's life story, I realized that the key to his phenomenal financial success may be attributed to a select few important monetary talents. During the time that you are giving this video a thumbs up, I will explain the core features of these abilities. Keeping tabs on your financial situation. 7 years old, by working on a farm belonging to a neighbor. He assisted in the collection of potatoes and the raising of rabbits. By the recommendation of his mother, he wrote his initial entry in a ledger, recording everything down to the very last cent, including the amount of money he received, the reason for receiving it, and how he spent it. These ancient records served as the precursors to the cash flow statements that are used by firms today to monitor their financial situation. Up to the time of his passing, he continued to engage in this exercise. John lived for 97 years. It is common practice for Rockefeller biographers to state that he was raised in a family with poor means. However, we are certain that his father was a traveling salesman. There is a lack of information regarding the amount of money that his father made for himself. To make ends meet while the head of the family was away, Rockefeller's mother had to put money aside, which resulted in her children developing the habit of calculating every single cent. Since he was a child, John has been aware of the fact that keeping track of money can assist in doubling it. The Rockefeller family had the desire for their son to attend college. Nevertheless, Rockefeller decided to enroll in accounting classes at a commercial college instead. Once he had completed his education, he found employment as an assistant accountant. Within a short period, his supervisors were aware of and respected his passion for numbers. Even though none of Rockefeller's co-workers enjoyed dealing with finished products, his eyes would brighten up whenever he was given assignments of this nature. It was $17 a month when he first started working there, but by the second month, it had climbed to $25. After a year, he was promoted to the position of manager and earned $800 per year. The extent to which John was dedicated to the cause of financial literacy should be emphasized very forcefully. His grasp of finance served as the basis for his acquisition of fortune in the future. For this reason, I strongly suggest that you focus your emphasis on acquiring personal financial education. Avoid being afraid to take out a loan. Many business owners view borrowing money as a vice that should be avoided at all costs. However, Rockefeller's example demonstrates that this does not have to be the case. Rockefeller certainly would have spent his entire life working for someone else if he hadn't taken out a loan to cover the sum that was lacking from his father's estate. Borrowed money was a regular companion for Rockefeller's business endeavors throughout his whole career. When he had sufficient funds of his own, he preferred to sell shares to investors rather than keep them for himself. On top of that, he invested his own money, but he kept some of it as a reserve. He was willing to finance the subsequent project on his own, even if no investors were forthcoming. The initial venture that Rockefeller embarked on was a little logistics company. In the first year of Rockefeller's business, the company received orders totaling $500,000. As time went on, there was a shortage of funds to finance these efforts. Rockefeller, who was already in debt to his father, who had provided loans with a 10% interest rate, took money from his father whenever he could. Even though it was difficult, he was able to accomplish it. Some people feel that the only people who are fearless when it comes to loans are those who are financially uneducated. Nonetheless, Rockefeller prudently borrowed money. Meet your other commitments. When it comes to meeting his duties, including those about his finances, Rockefeller has always been quite conscientious. Regardless of how challenging the task was, he was always able to locate the appropriate amount by the appropriate date. In the biography titled, "How I Made $500 Million," Rockefeller tells how his father came to his office for another loan payment at the most inappropriate time and demanded that he wanted the money immediately. Rockefeller stated that he needed the money immediately. Rockefeller couldn't determine whether the events occurred by happenstance or whether his father had chosen the dates for educational purposes on purpose. On the other hand, all of his creditors, including his father, were paid by the agreement. With time, lenders started to take Rockefeller at his word and place their total trust in him. The fact that he was known for keeping his financial promises became his most reliable assurance. There is a cost associated with every choice. Because Rockefeller did not behave haphazardly, he was able to borrow money without fear and complete his responsibilities. The decisions that were made were all meticulously calculated in advance. He always made sure to take into consideration when he would have to refund the money, how much he would earn on the money he borrowed, how much profit he would generate, and when he would have to repay the money. After being certain that the investment would either enhance output or cut expenses, ultimately leading to an increase in profits, Rockefeller made investments in his businesses that totaled millions of dollars or more. Rockefeller, for instance, was the first person in the United States to quit delivering oil in wooden barrels on horseback, and instead began transporting oil in tanks by rail, driving entire trains across the country. In addition, he chose to stop saving money on refinery safety after evaluating the harm that was caused by the ongoing fires, concluding remarks regarding the idea of wealth. Certain concepts of finance have stood the test of time and are certain to make people wealthy, and Rockefeller's capabilities with money are a testament to this. Even though they are straightforward and easily available, they may discourage many people. The road to reaching one's personal financial goals, on the other hand, is paved with opportunities for those who can muster the strength to perfect these talents. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and keep the conversation going.